Hello and welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and it's time to talk about Imprint. These are the December 2022 Imprint titles that have just arrived in good old the US of A. Good old the US of A, that's what I said. We've got so much ground to cover here. We have new Imprint catalog titles, then super duper special editions. We have the Avengers, the Emma Peel collection on Blu-ray, which is absolutely stunning. As stunning as Diana Rigg herself. And we have the War of the Worlds 4K Steelbook edition. We're going to kick off the coverage with this. Before I go any further, I'm going to say this right here at the top. You guys know what's coming. Every Imprint release to date, and we've covered them all. We've got, this goes through 197, number 197 here. We started with number 1, which was the original Blu-ray, you know, the Imprint's Blu-ray for War of the Worlds. Now here's their first 4K for War of the Worlds. It's all full circle. Every release has been region unlocked, and I've had no problem watching them on my region A locked player. And I was talking about the Avengers on Instagram, maybe social media, and somebody was like, Imprint's always region locked, right? I was like, no. So I know they've never seen one of these videos. Imprint is they have always been region free, but I say it played perfectly fine on my region A locked player because I can't speak for your player. If your player's 10 years old, if it's got outdated firmware, I don't know, you might have some problems. You got to update that firmware. All right, so let's launch right into this. Oh, by the way, thanks to Imprint for sending this stuff over. I love doing these videos. And good day to Australia, because let's not forget, these are Australian products, and the Australian audience is the target market for these. The War of the Worlds 4K Blu-ray Combo Pack Steelbook Edition. This thing is beautiful. I'll show you the Steelbook in just a second, but first, here's the J card with all of the special features. Now, I think that this is a... War of the Worlds on 4K was kind of controversial because there's one scene with Mars at the beginning. There's like, you know, the narrator's talking about these different planets. He talks about Mars. Mars is on screen for about 5 seconds, and on the new 4K, it's a different color sphere than in any previous edition, and some people have made a really big deal about this. I have no comment other than this is the same Paramount transfer. So if you bought the Paramount 4K wherever you are in the world, I think this is not, maybe even the same disc, honestly. I think, well, here, let's dive into it. So I'm going to take away the J card. It's the letter J. That's why it's called the J card. Here's the front. It's like a lenticular sort of thing going on there. There's the back. We have a lovely booklet. I love that Imprint is now doing booklets because I prefer... I'll take a booklet over a video essay. I know video essays are really popular. I prefer to just read the information myself. What do you guys think? Video essay or booklet? We're gonna get all kind of, we're gonna have opinions from all different opinions are gonna be shared. I like the booklet. I hate a booklet. I like a video essay. I can't stand a video essay. But I am curious what if a consensus emerges. All right, so lots of promotional artwork, lots of information about the movie, essays. Here's the Steelbook. It's sort of that matte finish. There's the front. There's the back. And I don't have the Paramount 4K, so you guys tell me if you do have the Paramount. Oh, that's so glary. All right, if you have the Paramount disc, is this the same disc? It has no Imprint or Viavision branding on it. I think it's the same disc. Hey, we recently talked about Dirty Dancing on 4K Steelbook as well, and I think that's the exact same disc that from the US as well, because 4Ks are usually region free all the time. So here's that's the 4K. Here's the Blu-ray disc, which has all of the features that the original Blu-ray had. Whoop, it's backwards. So if you don't have this War of the Worlds, you're getting that edition with this package. All right, here's the inside of the Steelbook. So much glare. A well-lit room is good for video, bad for reflecting. So I think it's really, really nice looking. A few thoughts on the 4K transfer itself, and then we're going to move on to Miss Peel. I think that it looks better than it's ever looked before War of the Worlds. Paramount I think they use DNR on their 4Ks, and I don't love that because I like film that looks like film. I think that film is made 35 millimeter film or 70 mil, whatever film comes from grain. That's what makes the image. So when you start to strip that away, you end up with waxy looking things. And I'm not saying this looks waxy because it doesn't, but I think it's been cleaned up by Paramount. But what's great about this is that now Australia has the option for The War of the Worlds, which is, of course, one of the a seminal 50s sci-fi movie. Not just 50s. It's one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time. I'm a classics guy, as you know. I think that stone cold classic. So I'm glad that Australians don't have to import this now. You just go buy it. All right. The Avengers, the Emma Peel collection. This is amazing. So this is essentially every Emma Peel episode. So season 4 and 5, or series 4 and 5 of the Avengers. People have asked why not the whole series. Well, there are multiple reasons for this, and I'm not involved with this, right? I'm just the messenger here, and I'm just speculating and guessing. One, there are a lot of Avengers episodes that are just lost because we're talking about a time in TV history when the executives would the programmers, whoever, would just wipe tapes to make room for more stuff. That's what we're missing early episodes of Doctor Who with Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell, because they would just wipe the tapes, and so they're gone forever. Also, the earlier seasons of the Avengers are on tape, videotape. They're done like stage plays, like Doctor Who again, where most of it is kind of done there in the studio in one take, like a play, like a stage play. And then later it evolved into what we kind of know as maybe the traditional television model shot on film. The first Emma Peel season is black and white. The second Emma Peel season is in color. And they know they're in color because everybody's wearing like these bright colors and psychedelic stuff. The Avengers is such a fun show. And I wish that... I remember, they made a movie. Hollywood made a movie about the Avengers, which is crazy. With who was it? It was Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman. And I remember seeing that movie. I think I saw it with my dad, and we were like, "Well, that was not very good." But now, all these years later, I'm like, I wish that I could cap off my Avengers binge watch here with the movie. It was the Warner Brothers movie. I think I've got the old Snapper Case DVD around here somewhere, so I can watch it. I do have access to it, but it needs some more love. Some people only think that great movies deserve HD transfers or 4Ks or whatever. I am not of that opinion. I think all movies deserve to be cleaned up if possible. Here's what we're dealing with here, guys. Actually, this is the little card that comes pinned to the back. And I'm just going to show you hopefully you can read. I'll get as close as I can, but hopefully it doesn't blur. There is a ton of stuff here. This is I'm going to say it's a virtual repository for Avengers history in the HD sphere. It sounded very professional, didn't it? We have a 120-page booklet, but I would go as far as to call this a book, not a booklet. This is great. And it's got essays and an episode-by-episode synopses for each episode. There's some real stunners in here, too. I think some of us have forgotten. I know I have forgotten just how iconic Diana Rigg and the Emma Peel character and just this show in general was at the time, and even into the 70s and the 80s. This is like really... it was peak pop culture is kind of what I'm trying to say. And it knew what it was. Like, it had an influence of Bond, but it was not taking itself seriously. It was even more satirical, parodical than, look at this, than Bond was. And so there's just something, and I think that is what helps us to come to it now with maybe fresher eyes. So it's a wonderful set, and it's split into 4 different Blu-ray cases. Each one of these it's a 16-disc set. And let me verify that. 16 disc, hours of special features, the 120-page booklet. The first seasons, this is season 4. They've got the black and white art, which I like because that's the black and white material, and then color. So really well done. But they own, even on the back, I'll show you the back of the packages here too. The discs themselves are where it's at. We're we're not collecting just for packaging here. We're collecting because we want to watch the show, right? So they call them files, which I love. Series 4, File 1, not discs, files. File 1 to File 2, File 3, File 4. And they all have extras on them. They all have interviews, or like the alternate US opening, or promotional spots, or interviews. Guys, they've got stuff here that has nothing to do with Emma Peel. They've got an interview with there was the biographer of Patrick McNee. They've got an interview with Honor Blackman. That's if you know her from the Bond franchise as well. I'm not going to say her character's name because YouTube. There's another thing coming up in this episode too, where I'm going to have to be very careful dancing around some things because of these YouTube standards. Tons and tons and tons and tons of specials. There's some things that I don't even know where they originated from. Patrick McNee is sort of introducing episodes, and I think maybe those were from a previous, maybe a DVD presentation from 20 years ago or so. So this is a wonderful set. It is the third Imprint television release. You know, as they have Imprint films, but Imprint TV this is the third one, and the first was, is this number 1? Yeah, the Hammer House of Horror box set. Oh, it's backwards. Hammer House of Horror, and then number 2 was Space 1999. So again, this is one of your only sources on the internet for complete Imprint coverage. We've covered it all, and I got it right here on, I think, 3 shelves over my head. All right, let's launch into the films that are part of the Imprint Films new releases, and we'll do these in the numerical order. So we'll start with 192. This is the Killer Elite, James Caan, Robert Duvall, Sam Peckinpah movie. Now you notice this is a double thick case here. Well, hold on, first off, let me let you read everything that's included. You see, we got an alternate cut there. What's interesting about Peckinpah, I'm not going to get too deep into this because I don't want this video. This video is already running longer than it should have. Peckinpah would always struggle with final cuts and would always have bigger ideas. He was always at odds with studios, you know, and that results in alternate cuts. And we're lucky that we have them because in some cases, there's an alternate cut for... What is the film? My memory is failing me. Like someone smuggled it out of the studio. So it's really interesting. So we have the original theatrical cut and the alternate theatrical cut. There is a 7-minute difference, it looks like. All the special features are on this disc. And lots of stuff. Is there anything I want to shout out specifically here? I mean, there's just so much stuff here. Now, let's move forward. I realize our time is valuable. This is the one I have to be careful with. This is The Eagle Has Landed, and underneath, this comes away, and underneath this piece of cardboard is the same artwork, but with a swastika behind it. And you know this is a monetized video, I'm not going to be able to show you that. But you can imagine what it looks like. It's on there. It's on the Imprint, the Viavision, the Imprint section of the Viavision website. You can see the artwork there too. So we've got loaded stuff, guys. This is a two disc version as well. We've got the theatrical cut and the extended cut. Now I haven't watched the extended cut yet. I know this movie from the theatrical cut. This is a John Sturges film, and I love John Sturges. We've been super blessed with John Sturges in the last 2 years or so. I mean, so much of his career has been released in the high definition format. And I love his earlier stuff more than I love these big Hollywood movies. The Great Escape, you know, the Magnificent Seven I adore. But Bad Day at Black Rock is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it is frame for frame a perfect film. I would not remove a single second from that film. That's the Sturges that I seem to connect with the most. But I love that we're getting all these movies. This is not the only edition of The Eagle Has Landed on Blu-ray in the world, but it is now the best because we have, like I said, we have the theatrical cut. Oh, hold on, let me make sure these are okay. The theatrical cut and the extended cut. See what I did there? The extended cut and the extended cut. So which one of the? So audio commentary. You guys have so many audio commentaries. Audio commentary on we got commentary by Steve Mitchell, Stephen J. Rubin, Kim Newman. Kim Newman's not doing a commentary. He's got it's like 12 or 13 minutes, I think, where he talks about the film and Sturges in general. This is really cool. A Magnificent Cinema discussion on John Sturges with film historians Daniel Kramer, Michael Schlesinger, and Nat Segeloff. That's like 39 minutes, and it's just these guys who are experts in their field talking about John Sturges. It's great. That's the kind of thing I want to see more stuff like that. Like, video essays, but I want to see more just experts talking about the things that they know and the things that they love. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Watching that special feature, I was jealous that I wasn't there. I was like, I could contribute to this conversation. Let's talk about, But here's the other thing. So it's the only note that I have for that is that I wish that I could have seen the speakers, because it's done with we don't see the speakers, we hear them talking, but it's like a photo montage sort of a thing, and that's great. But I love to connect. There's a review coming up for some Arrow stuff, and I watched. There's like a 2 hour and 10 minute discussion between two guys. They're on Zoom and they're just talking, but we connect. You connect. I feel as a YouTuber, right? Like, it's not an accident that I write. I've been writing for the better part of a decade. YouTube was specifically selected because you can see me and you form a connection by, visual connection. So I wish that we could see the speakers here, but the information is so great and they all know exactly what they're talking about. High praise for that. 2 featurettes on the theatrical cut, and then the extended cut has a commentary by C. Courtney Joyner, my friend C. Courtney Joyner, Fifth Sutton, and actor Treat Williams. So that's great. There's a featurette here as well, an interview with the film's writer, and it just goes on and on. Hopefully you saw. Did I hold this up? I honestly don't remember if I held that up or not. So that's. This video is running long. All right, guys, this is really cool. Marlon Brando in Burn. We got Italian cinema in another wide box. It's another 2-disc affair. The Man Who Sells War. The bloodier the battle, the higher the price. He's going to make a fortune on this one. Limited edition 2-disc set with the Italian and the export, which is the English version, cut of the movie. We are talking about Mr. Brando here, and there is... what? Oh, I got to show you. Oh, hold on. There's everything that's included. And since it's about to fall away, let me make sure this one's safe. Okay. That's what's underneath. Again, I'm looking forward to revisiting this one because I've never seen I don't know if I've ever seen the Italian cut of this. But I'm so happy. If you saw my where was it? I was talking to Fran Simeone from Radiance Films, and he was talking about Italian cinema, and I was like, I'm excited to see some Italian films that aren't just horror and aren't giallo, because that's like, there's only so many of those, right? But Italians have one of the most interesting and varied cinemas, is that a word? Well, I'm making it one, in the world. And you get into, what year is this? 1969. Late 50s, early 60s, and through the 60s, Italian cinema is so fascinating. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino has Leonardo DiCaprio's character going to Italy to make these different kinds of movies. Those are the kind of movies that I want to see getting Blu-ray releases or 4K releases. The spy movies and like the crime movies and the heist movies and the spaghetti westerns too. I want to see those. It's time for those. All right, Fear is the Key. This is a movie I have not yet seen, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I know very little about it. Barry Newman, Susie Kendall. We have a audio commentary by Kim Newman and Sean Hogan. An interview with the associate producer, Bayou to Bray. Interviews with the cast and crew. Let me hold that up for you. I already did that, right? So here is here's the Blu-ray case. And have you seen this one? Because I haven't seen it and I know nothing about it. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Here's one that's speaking my language. Gregory Peck and Pork Chop Hill. This is right up my alley. This is my kind of a movie. 1959. Let's see, what did we have? Audio commentary by Stephen J. Rubin and Steve Mitchell. Gregory Peck, His Own Man, vintage documentary. That is amazing. I love that they include these vintage docs when they can. Here is the interior, the Blu-ray artwork. And last but not least is another one I have not seen, so I'm curious what you guys think about it. Suzanne Pleshette, Ben Gazzara, and John O'Hara's A Rage to Live. And check out the still shot that they chose for the back of the package. What do the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap! So we have, what do we have here? We have author Neil Sinyard on the career of Suzanne Pleshette. That's new. And Paralyzed Segments, Suzanne Pleshette Tangled Up in Codes, a video essay by Daniel Kramer. Now, if Daniel Kramer sees this, I'm glad. Like, video essays are really cool. I'm just saying I prefer text. And he's like the book writer. He's not the author that does all these. I'm sure he might feel this the same way. They serve different purposes. I'm just speaking from my own preferences here. And the theatrical trailer. Here is the artwork, the other artwork here as well. And again, this one's new to me. So what do you guys think? Holy cow, I just saw it's got music by Ferranti and Tyker. Is it Tyker? I've got records by these guys, but I've never heard their name spoken. They were sort of instrumental musicians that got into like the exotica, and I love that stuff. Like just mid-century, great, kind of kitschy. I just thought that the music was done by them. So, okay, that's a ton of stuff, right? That's Imprint for December, as we're now in January, but that's the latest Imprint updates. We'll be back here to talk about more soon. And let's talk about the movies. You know, I desperately want to make sure that we do not put collecting over movie love. So if you've seen these movies, let's talk about John Sturges. Let's talk about Suzanne Pleshette. Let's talk about War of the Worlds and cool 50s sci-fi movies. Let's talk about Emma Peel. That's what we should be talking about, Emma Peel. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up. Help others to find this content and to elevate this channel so more people can discover it. I appreciate you so very much. Take care, and until next time, I will catch you later.